It's only one man's decision, and everybody has their preferences, but it is odd on the surface that Justin Wilcox, who is not tearing it up at Cal, would not accept an upgrade on the surface to Oregon, going from a top 50 or 60 program in the country to a top 10 or 15 program in the country with all the obvious niceties, facilities, money, resources, everything at his, especially when he's not turned it around at Cal, and who knows how long he could be there if he doesn't turn in some decent seasons going forward. So that is a bit odd. And then just noting what Lincoln Riley's already done there at USC, flipped a five-star running back in Raleek Brown just here in the last week. And he's apparently working on a number of guys like four-star linebacker David Bailey, who's committed to Stanford, but apparently interested in USC, as his four-star wide receiver CJ Williams, committed to Notre Dame. Brian Kelly leaves there, and he's still looking, and others as well. So, yeah, that 102 ranking will not last. And I was not aware of the Stanford top 10 ranking until I just verified what you just stated. That's interesting as well, because even in his heyday there at Stanford, David Shaw was not pulling in anything close to top 10 classes to Palo Alto.
And that only makes Justin Wilcox's decision to stay at Cal even more curious, right? I mean, like if David Shaw is bringing in this huge class, you'd think that Justin Wilcox would want to parachute out of Berkeley, but apparently not. And I guess there are more things to be said about this, Mark. And one is that Justin Wilcox might be more like his former boss, Chris Peterson, than we ever suspected. Because Chris Peterson, one of the things that defined him was quality of life. I don't need to be in the ultimate pressure cooker job. I don't want to go to USC. He didn't. I don't want to go to Texas. He didn't. He could have gone there. He could have thrown his hat into the ring for those jobs when they came open at various points over the past 8 years. He just didn't want them. Some people at USC felt that the Trojans never made a serious pursuit of him, but he was clear. He just didn't want the bright lights of LA. He didn't want the withering pressure of Texas. He felt that Washington was kind of a job that married expectations and potential, but not too much media scrutiny. Justin Wilcox might be making that same kind of decision. And I just think the other point is that with all the COVID protocol inconveniences and complications at Cal, I think what Justin Wilcox is basically saying is he's telling the administration there in Berkeley, I'm comfortable here. I like it here. So like what this does, it buys him job security. Like I'm sure that the people at Cal are going to be very grateful that Justin Wilcox is staying, that he might not get very good results based on all the other patterns and trends that we're seeing, but he's not going to be fired like that. Like this, I think that's kind of the deal or the bargain that Justin Wilcox is trying to make. He might not do all that well, but the folks in Berkeley are going to be grateful for him for staying. Internal pressure from the administration there to want to push him out anytime soon. So maybe that's the calculus in terms of job security. Might not be the worst decision in the world.
People that follow college football like yourself and certainly know Justin Wilcox is a quality football coach, but he is not given the results at Cal. Of course, he came in with a big-time defensive coordinator reputation at Tennessee and Wisconsin and other stops. But now considering this to be a fifth season in this day and age of, we need to see something in year 2 or you're out. He's gotten to 2 bowl games. He split them, and basically 15-25 in conference, and he's under 500 overall, and he's coming off a 5-7 campaign. So he is certainly in a unique situation. If everything that what you're stating could be true, and I know you're just conjecturing, but it makes sense. It's valid. It seems to be valid conjecture. Put that together with his situation at Cal and the results that he's churned out, and it seems to be a different kind of college football location, as we could assume from other priorities there.
No doubt. Right. And I think, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Matt.
That, the pandemic, didn't really slow down the coaching carousel. But at a place like Berkeley, maybe it has. Like that's a place where the pandemic has really made an administration more cautious and more protective rather than being more aggressive, which we've seen elsewhere across the country.